Hi all, just a look at the Trix 22566 Fireless steam Loco. Quite an unusual item. I've been after this model for quite a while because it's quite a rare model to get a hold of. But I managed to pick one up on eBay UK from Rails, Sheffield. Done a deal with him on the price. This one is actually brand new, it's never been used. Immaculate. Yeah, so what it is, it's doesn't have a firebox, doesn't have a coal bunker, doesn't require a fireman, just one operator, and it can be put into operation a lot quicker than a standard steam Loco. Advantages of this would be in a food factory or any chemical factories where they don't want fiery embers coming out their funnel, and it's a lot cleaner operation because it uses obviously compressed superheated water from a steam plant. Takes on the water, I'm not sure if it takes the water on from the back and feeds it through into the boiler, extra large boiler, to take on more superheated water. And obviously yeah, that operates for a certain amount of time, and then it needs to head back to this recharge point of the steam plant and take on a fresh batch of water. But yeah, it's quite an interesting model this, so I'll just get it out of the box, have a quick look. Nicely packaged as always, and that's what it looks like. Quite a unique model, cylinders underneath the cab. So I'm going to do a DCC fit out on this, so yeah, I'll have a go at that now. Yeah, so on this particular Loco, it's a bit tricky. You take off this top cap here, which is on the roof, and you get access to a small float screw, and then on the underside you get access to like a slotted conventional screw, threaded, so you've got to be careful not to thread either of these screws because they'll be damaged if they're cross-threaded because they go into a metal chassis. And then you just pop off the cab that comes in that sort of plastic section. Then you get access to the rear part of the motor, and the front part of the motor you've got to disconnect the ladders from the fixings on the bottom, 2 sets of ladders, and the bottom of the handrails wrap around the front as well. You've got to take the fixings out on the handrails on the front, both sides as well. So you've got to be careful, and then eventually it just pops off. This is die cast metal, so you've got to be really careful. And it's hollowed out inside, and it's quite a weighty item, that. You've got to be careful not to damage it, there's a lot of fine details on it. And you get access to the inside. And on this model we've got to be very careful not to damage anything. LED lighting, fine handrails, bars here, each corner. LED lighting as well on the front and back of the Loco. Yeah, so when you turn it around, that's a high efficiency 5-pole motor, which is very robust, lasts many years. Many years. These are virtually indestructible. Easy access to the brushes. There's the interface board. They pop that old plug out, which is meant for analog operation. Let's see if we can pop that out. Quite tricky. You've got to be careful not to use any screwdrivers doing this because you could damage the circuit board. You've just got to try and take it out by hand, which is really tight on this one. Oh, I think I'm going to resort to my old plastic tool. Yeah, again it's just a plastic glue sticks. These won't cause any damage and they're quite flexible, so one in the top, because this is really tricky to get out. I don't understand why it's so difficult, like as if it's been soldered in. It's going out slowly. Still doesn't want to come out, but it's come out slightly enough to... I could probably just want to make sure I don't damage any of these fine details. I think what I'll do, I'll unclip it. Best thing to do is unclip it from the whole mounting, tip it on its side, and pop it out. There we go. That's just a blanking plug for analog operation. So there we go. So I'm going to have to neatly, probably could get a sound decoder in this. There's enough space in the boiler. Plenty of space in the boiler. Just show that. Loads of space in there for sound. So for now it's just going to be a normal chip, but the thing you got to be so careful of is not to cause any damage to the very fine valve gear, etc., because that's quite delicate. There we go. Yeah, so to put this decoder in, it's quite tight. It's this area here, you can't really put a decoder on the side of it. There's not as much space as I thought, so a decoder's going to have to go very carefully into the boiler at the front. Probably better off with a Lock Pilot Micro really, but the that's it. It goes just inside to the front of the boiler like that. It's insulated anyway, and then we've just got to carefully just tuck the wires inside as we manoeuvre it, because we've got to watch all the grab irons on the boiler. You don't bend them on this model. It's really tricky, this one. Yeah, and you just got to manoeuvre the boiler back into position, and you've got two grab irons, handrails on the front to locate, and two sets of ladders on the other side to locate as well into the this walkway. All very tricky stuff. So that's it for now. Yeah, so I've managed to get the decoder in, but it's a really tricky one to do this, because you've got to pop the front of the boiler off, which comes off. It's a plastic piece like that. Careful, you've got to take that off. Plug the 8-pin decoder in, take the decoder out through the front of the boiler, put the boiler back. Well, that takes a great deal of care and time, because you've got to realign the front bars on the front on both sides, and two sets of steps into locating holes. So there's 2, 4, 6 sets of holes to locate that boiler perfectly, otherwise it will not go back on. And that's time consuming. You've got to be careful not to damage. It is very heavy, all the fine valve gear, etc. So I'm going to try and push that chip into the boiler now. Yeah, so as you can see, I've just pushed it in and just pushed the wires back for now, and hopefully I can push that on, which has got the light prisms on the back. Yeah, I've got it on. I just gently manoeuvre it into position and just push forward. You've got to be so careful not to damage the handrails sticking up excuse me, sticking up at each corner. I'll just test it now, see how the lighting works. Yeah, so there we go, speed step 1. Switch it on. Yeah, it'll pull a lot of metal wagons like the slag or pig iron wagons, which it's designed to work with, this Loco. And it's got a really nice crawling speed on speed step 1. Very nice, high efficiency motor, 5-pole, nice and smooth. A heavy Loco this. Just need to probably do a sound update on it in the future.